Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. Today, we got some really cool stuff to talk about, but before we get into any of that, make sure you press the like button and subscribe if you are already enjoying the Daily Crypto News. The question of today is, what coin do you love the most? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I want to see a couple of you guys' answers. Do you like some crazy coin the most? Do you like a troll coin, or which one do you like the most out of all of them? Let me know in the comment section down below. Alright guys, so before we get into the video, make sure you also follow me over on Twitter and follow me over on my second channel, which has no ads, because you need to do that or or something bad will happen. Alright, so first tweet of the day comes from XRP Hold. He says, as far as I can tell, this was published May 1st. To quote, to help enable this next step in global interoperability and meet the evolving needs of our customers, Ripple is now part of the ISO 2002 standards body, the first member focused on distributed ledger technology. And here's a little bit more of the document. You can read into it. The world is converging on the new global standard ISO 2022, the de facto global data standard for modern payments. To help enable this next step of global interoperability and meet the evolving needs of our customers, Ripple is now part of that, and it is actually pretty damn cool. So a little bit more on that was this one right here. Ripple XRP as a bridge between digital central bank currencies. According to Ripple's head of global banking, the XRP token could act as a bridge between digital central bank currencies, which themselves lack interoperability. She also predicted in a panel discussion with representatives from banks and Microsoft that the trend towards digital currencies will be accelerated by the pandemic. And now, before we get more into this article right here, I actually found it really fun that earlier today I read an article about Dutch central banks. Dutch central bank to crypto firms register in 2 weeks or shut down. So the Dutch central bank has actually been having quite an interesting approach on crypto right now. Like the last couple of weeks or so, I've been talking about what the Netherlands are doing here in terms of all this crypto nonsense. But one of the things they really are interested in is CBDCs, and also trying to work with the big companies. And I guess here's a little bit of a harder or a harsher ruling, but most of the time they're actually quite nice. They're actually quite sweet with all of it, and really trying to emancipate, really trying to work. So I just thought about that when I was reading this article, and I wanted to mention it. Ripple XRP again. Let's check in. Marianne Delatin, head of global banking at Ripple, spoke about the digitalization of a banking in a panel discussion with representatives from KPMG. Again, I don't know if this is officially a Dutch company. I believe so, right? At least it's very big here. I think so. I would be stupid if I'm wrong. I think it's 99% sure. Starling Bank, Microsoft, and HSBC. Delatin, who is responsible for communicating with banks at Ripple and ensuring that banks understand Ripple's technology and the blockchain in general, explained that some of the world's largest banks are preparing to own and trade digital assets. So we kind of already knew that. I mean, it's not like that's going to be something crazy or strange in that sense. But I'm also wondering exactly why KPMG would make this list, unless I'm seeing the wrong side. And maybe KPMG in general is a international company, but it's just really big in the Netherlands. Um, because I do have something in the back of my head that there's also other places in the world. I know for a fact that the head office is in the Netherlands, but I don't know if it's officially a Dutch company. I don't know about that. I believe so. It might be Switzerland as well, though, because I do remember they have one office there. But right. Delatin explained that the banking system with its current infrastructure is way too slow and inefficient, hey, update, in processing cross-border payments. In our experience, banks are beginning to see the value of the blockchain tech, and Ripple and its tech can, as many Ripple customers have already realized, on the one hand, reduce operating costs, and on the other hand, accelerate scaling. So, I mean, it's really, really, really nice. I've told you guys about that before, but just another reminder, it's really freaking nice. To quote, our contribution to this digital era is building an infrastructure that helps financial institutions get closer to this reality of instant and convenient payments. When you look at the aging infrastructure that is in place today, in order to transfer money around the world, this is very close to a fossil system. There's a trust established between members of these systems, but you still have to have a lot of inefficiencies in terms of the cost. Our customers base realizes and recognizes inefficiencies, and they look at the blockchain as a tech that can inherently diminish the operational costs and speed up the scale up to bring the new services in competition with established organizations. Like Navin Gupta, Ripple's managing director for Southeast Asia, she stressed that the CV pandemic will accelerate the transition to a digital society. So, because cash has been really, really reduced, there are different layers, and the real consequence of this is the fact that the use of cash is declining because of health issues. If this trend continues and you need to somehow ship money somewhere, you're going to see banks that are going to have more pressure on them to get more to the digital world. And that's actually pushing banks right now to get more into it. She also talked about the ongoing global trend for central banks to examine the test of CBDCs, which are central bank digital currencies. She explained that some countries are more advanced than others, citing France and the test of the digital euro as a prime example. At the same time, she stressed that there needs to be a bridge between the different digital central bank currencies as they themselves lack interoperability. And again, this is where I see the big link between the Netherlands right now and Ripple, as they're really so keen on exploring these CBDCs that I think it will not be that long of a time before we decide to get one going. And, Ripple being kind of keen on that and really trying to work themselves into this area could really get a partnership going relatively soon. And I like that. And according to Delatine, Ripple's XRP token is predestined for this, and she quotes again, how this will work in terms of interoperability between each one of them is more in the international worlds. That's probably going to be the digital currencies like XRP, which can play a role in terms of playing a bridge between multiple or different CBDCs. Because again, one of the issues you have is that all parties will have their own thing. Nobody trusts each other, and you're still going to have to transfer over from different ones to another. And doing it directly, I guess, is a little bit of a bummer, as there needs to be mutual trust to that. I think that's where Ripple comes in with XRP. She also says, I think these trends will continue and be reinforced in the coming years as cash becomes less important and a lot of companies decide to switch over to more digital payments. Even though most payments are digital already, I believe like 60 some percent is digital in the Netherlands. I think we'll only get more and more digital, and eventually there will be no escaping it at all. Comparison of Bitcoin to other markets shows you just how early investors truly are. And this is again another little small shout out to all the people that are, kind of worrying about their investments and kind of worrying that there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Just sit tight. We're really freaking early. We're early adopters. We're in the first 10 years or so of crypto. We're at the first couple of years of this new payment revolution. And really, if you look back at one point, let's say for example right now, you're 35, at one point, if you're 60, you're going to be looking back at some of your investment decisions. And one of those choices, or one of the things you might be seeing, is that you're really at the start of something great. And maybe once you're 60, and again, no offense if you already are or anything like that, just add a couple of years, you might look back and think, that was my time. I witnessed that. I witnessed that happen. It's the same for all the people that were here already 4 decades ago, when I guess Swift came into play. How they did everything right now. It's really strange to see it all change, and it's really strange to also kind of are at the groundwork. To be at the groundwork is really something that not many people can say they witnessed, and that's where we are at right now. Same for crypto. It's really crazy. Bitcoin has seen unprecedented growth throughout the past decade, but as a market, it is still incredibly small. I mean, also in terms of market cap and how much they matter. I've put it all on a scale for you guys before, and to conclude, they don't matter for shit. A visual comparison of Bitcoin's market size as compared to that of other assets in the market elucidates just how much room there is for growth. This comes as analysts foresees growing confluence of factors that could help propel the crypto significantly higher in the coming months and years ahead. And here's a little bit of a comparison for you guys. Bitcoin times 42 can fit in gold, because here you can see 1 is Bitcoin, 42 is gold. U.S. Federal Reserve balance sheet is 100 times bigger than Bitcoin, and this is expected 2020 QE, by the way, only this part. Global currency supply, this is the 2020 expected QE. This is the USA, this big part. That's Bitcoin times 120. If you think about that, it's crazy as well. And how much could we grow? Well, here's a little bit of a thought, but I don't want to concern myself with any of that. Nothing like that. We don't need that. But that's assuming that this halving is going to take us to a new level, excel us further, which again, there's a chance to, but I won't say that's a given or fact. Bitcoin halving is not an event. They just ain't enough Bitcoin to satisfy new investors' demand. So right now, this is something that I do agree with a little bit, as the Bitcoin halving itself is not that big of a deal to a certain degree. I mean, we all knew it was going to happen, so I guess there's nothing really new or crazy that's been going on. It's even not that big of an event to some, as not that much would change for the normal traditional investor. However, right now, a lot of people are sitting at home thinking about investing. A lot of people are trying to get away from the stock market and really get away from everything. And they're saying Bitcoin is going up a little bit because really, a lot of people got free money. A lot of people are trying to invest, and the demand for Bitcoin is really going to be going up as it's a scarce asset. Record monetary and fiscal stimulus is creating the perfect macro backdrop for Bitcoin. Matty Greenspan says 25 billion U.S. national debt within the next 30 hours. Ivan on Tech said a couple other things. I'm not going to be talking about that. And Matty Greenspan also said, as governments continue to print more money, it obviously takes more money to buy things with a fixed supply. People are flocking to Bitcoin in search of that alternate store of wealth, which is also what people are doing with gold. But that is as, of course, the US dollar I guess becomes worth less or things inflate. And last but not least, Tron CEO's new stablecoin just sold out in under 5 minutes. So that is actually the name of the stablecoin. It's USDJ. As you can see right here, it's called Just, and it sold out in 5 minutes. So he said here, Just token sale is now complete, finished in 4 minutes 26 seconds on Poloniex. And I don't really know why you would want to be so early into buying a stable coin. I don't know really why that would matter at all. But whatever. Birds be flocking. I mean, I don't know. Was it cheaper to buy this or what happened? Because I personally don't get it quite yet. But maybe I'm not educated enough to get a good story on that going. It might definitely be so, and I will definitely correct myself if I was, but I don't really know about it. But if you guys do know, let me know in the comments section down below if you managed to buy or bought or did something with it, because I'm interested, and I didn't get into it, so you guys need to let me know. By the way, I think it's like 5 a.m., so I think we're gonna call it a night. Hopefully it was not sounding too tired in this video and you could still understand everything. If you did, comment 5 a.m. in the comment section down below if you watched this far, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody, and have a very, very nice day. Enjoy your week. I really sincerely hope you enjoy your week.